MPs have been deluged with several thousand submissions on the fast-tracked gun legislation which will ban most types of semi-automatic firearms. But there are concerns about the pace of change, with just one day set aside tomorrow for oral submissions from the public. Here's our Deputy Political Editor, Craig McCulloch.
Miles Anderson is a Timaru farmer, a gun owner, a spokesperson for Federated Farmers, one of a few dozen people to be invited to present to MPs tomorrow on the new gun ban and buyback.
Notified, I have to look at my phone for the email, but late morning I was notified.
Just one day's notice because of the compressed timeline. Miles Anderson will now wing his way to Wellington tomorrow morning.
Well, it's not ideal. The time frame makes it harder to put forward a well-considered and worked-on submission.
The Select Committee has just one day set aside tomorrow to hear submissions from the general public. Usually people apply to address MPs in person. This time a select group of about 20 to 25 people was selected to present. They'll each get 10 to 15 minutes each. The committee's chair and Labour MP, Michael Wood, says the submitters were chosen to represent a cross-section of views.
This is a shorter time frame than usual, but we are dealing with a situation in which 50 people were murdered by one of these weapons, and the New Zealand public expect us to move with some reasonable speed on this issue, while making sure that there is some oversight of the legislation.
ACT's David Seymour has been the sole voice of opposition during the gun debate, chiefly upset about the pace of change. He says MPs are showing total contempt for the lawmaking process.
I don't think people are taking seriously enough the desecration of democracy by taking out the whole part where we actually listen to the public and consult before we make a law that affects them.
But National's Simon Bridges is comfortable with the timeline.
There's a sense of urgency and unity now, and the government is seizing upon that. I get that, and we're up for that.
A rare moment of unity across the House. The Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, freshly back from her whirlwind trip to China, says the ban is relatively straightforward and has near unanimous support in Parliament.
So if everyone's in agreement, then understandably there's good grounds to move quickly.
But we need to act and act now.
People are also welcome to write in with their feedback on the bill. Several thousand have already done so since yesterday. The deadline for written submissions closes at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, after which MPs will take stock and consider if any changes need to be made. Atu iti whare parimata mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi, ko Craig McCulloch.